Hi everyone. So I'm back again. I was having issues with my microphone. I just realized that it wasn't. Thank God I stopped recording because it wasn't recording anything. So I just changed, and now I'm wearing my headsets again. And hopefully, you guys out there watching are going to be able to listen to me. I know it's probably not many of you out there. It is 11 o'clock at night. Still Wednesday. So I'm excited. I still have some energy left to do this live and to bring you a lot of good information about a topic that not. Hey Jen, hi, thank you for watching and for being awake at this time. Just wanted to the video that I wanted to do today. It's to bring to bring into a topic this conversation that a lot of people are already listening to, and it's how do we actually bring herbs into our daily lives? How do we bring herbs to actually help us with our digestive system? And so I wanted to talk about mainly three things. The first one is, how do herbs have helped me, specifically psychologically, with my actual body? And lastly, why do I think it's important to add them into our daily routine, right? And so first, let's talk a little bit about the good things or the positive sides of using herbs, using teas in our mindset or in our psychology, as I call it. Two main things. One, they keep me away from cravings, and they keep me centered, connected to myself. And three things actually: reducing my anxiety and my stress levels. So cravings, why? Because the moment we eat a huge meal, and I think some of you have experienced this in the past, especially like in the afternoon, you eat that lunch where you feel great or you feel you're full, but there's always that little craving saying, the voice inside your head saying, hey, just why don't you reach for that cookie, or why don't you reach for the chocolate boxes or the sweets in the office? I know, because we have a sweet box in the office where everyone puts money, and you just see Twix and Snickers and M&M's. So around 2:30, I'm always like, I think I deserve something sweet. I went to the gym this morning, or whatever that is. And the truth is, it's more than just the craving. It is also in my head. Like, I'm feeling tired. It's been a long day, and it's going towards that moment where I'm already thinking about checking out, right? So what I do usually, it's bring a tea before I even reach out to eat anything. And it's going to be different teas, right? Depending on what I'm feeling like. But the point is, the process of making the tea and drinking it, usually by the time I'm done with it, that's it. I don't want anything else. My craving for sugar has stopped. And I usually tend to add a little bit of honey, so that actually helps as well. The other thing that I mentioned, it's the fact that when I drink tea, I also reduce my anxiety levels and my stress levels, because I get to connect with myself. So usually it's either after dinner. That's the other time when I love to drink tea, and it's really kind of like reflecting about the day. So drinking my tea after dinner, and just sometimes I journal. I have different types of journals. One is my thank you journal, and for me, if I'm feeling that I'm a little stressed, or there are challenges in my work and my personal life, a cup of tea and a piece of paper usually do magic for me. So this is more on the psychological side. Once I'm done with that, I feel like I connected to myself. I connected to what I can do, and by doing that, specifically drinking tea, because it's a process of drinking it, tasting it, and just being aware in the moment. That's how the psychological part of drinking tea helps me. Now, when it comes to some of the things that herbal medicine, as we call it, the role that it plays in the digestive system, is going to really depend on everyone. So I wanted to give a quick introduction. So the words aperitifs or digestives, right? So in Spanish would be aperitivos or digestivos. All of this play a role in our culture. So in the past, we used to have something before we had a huge meal, and also we used to have something after we had a huge meal. to kind of like help with the digestive process. What we have before every meal, it's usually something to help us ignite our fire or ignite our acne, as you would, as an Ayurveda practitioner would talk about. So as you ignite your fire, your acne in your stomach, then it's getting, the acids are getting ready, your stomach is getting ready for the food to be digested. So this would be more of the aperitifs type of herbs, I would call them. And so for that, ginger, usually it could be an herb, but ginger, it's a root. So ginger tea, cinnamon tea, for instance, all of them are actually good to drink before our meals, if we wanted to, again, get the acne started before we eat lunch or dinner, for instance. Then we will eat our meal, and then we have what we call digestive, and these are other different type of herbs that you can start using. For me, I have two favorite ones that I wanted to share with you, and this is just the beginning, and this is just one way to look at herbal medicine. It's the way that I picked to talk about today, just because it's more relevant to our topic, which is healing our gut with food and how we can apply these herbs for that specifically. So the ones that I picked are one, it's going to be the marshmallow root, and the marshmallow root essentially has many types of benefits, but what I like really about it, I just like how it smells. And you can actually go to, I was just talking to Nati the other day, you can go to any herbal store and just really ask for the actual root, the marshmallow root. And it's not as easy to find. However, in New York, I found it. This is the way it looks. So it's the root. It's kind of white. And you can find it really most of your medicine, your herbal stores, or your more of the typical healthy stores around the corner as well. And so how do you actually prepare it, right? Specifically, and again, I'm going to mention the name, it's marshmallow root. So what I have here, you can have something like this at home as well. You can buy it anywhere, but this is my favorite tea brewer. And so what it is really is just like a strainer here inside the tea, inside the teapot, and then you can just put the marshmallow root here, put some water, hot water, and just leave it for 3 or 4 minutes to steepen, and then you can just pour your tea. And that way is how you would make the marshmallow tea. Really, the reason why I think this is a great tea is because some of the qualities that it has is that it's supposed to support the gastritic mucosa. So whenever we're feeling irritated in the gastric mucosa, it's usually a way to repair that part of our digestive system. So I will also say, if you have, for instance, some acid reflux, if you have some irritability on some of the linings of the different organs in the digestive system, then the root is traditionally used to help repair the linings of the stomachs and some of the inflammation also in your small intestine. So for me, this tea is essentially encompasses everything when it comes to repairing our digestive system, and you can drink it ideally, I would say after a meal will be the ideal time. So that is the marshmallow root, or the one tea that I wanted to talk to you guys about. I'm gonna see if I can find the link online to put it in the comments so that you can purchase it there. But if not, you can go to a health store. The other one that it's a little bit has more of an anti-inflammatory and diuretic properties are my favorite, which is the hibiscus flower. And I usually combine it with Schisandra as well. And the reason why I like Schisandra, which is this one in particular is a raw herb that I bought by from Dragon Herbs. The reason why I like Shisandra is because, as we talked about in the past, according to traditional Chinese medicine, it is important to have the 5 flavors in everything that you consume, right? Or every food that you're having. So this, we're going to have the sweet, the sour, the spicy or the pungent, the salty and the bitter. And by having all of this, it essentially, how do I explain it? It's just, once you have this drink, this really helps you. I mean, specifically with the Shisandra, it's really helped you feel more fulfilled and more full in your stomach, and it's just more satisfied. That is the word that I wanted to use. So if we're trying to incorporate different flavors, definitely the Shisandra tea, and the Shisandra tea with the hibiscus flower. This is like my favorite summer drink, because again, what I usually do is I will put some, hey Autumn, I don't know if you're watching, but welcome to the live video. I'm just talking about herbs here for our digestive system. So what you would do is just buy the hibiscus flower, put it again in the teapot, right? So you would put, depending on the amount that you want, but I usually fill it out completely, or to half of this. Add some Shisandra berries as well that you can buy online, and then once you put the hot water, you can steep it for 4 to 5 minutes, and then pour it into a cup. And I will drink it actually cold, because the hibiscus tea is a very refreshing, or the hibiscus herb is a very refreshing herb. And again, for me, it's more anti-inflammatory, so I will drink it after a very greasy meal. Not that I have many of those, but after greasy meals, after, like the next day after I drink the tea, I will really feel like my body is just some of the, you know how when you feel sometimes like a little bit bloated and you feel like there is just like humidity in your body. So I don't know how to explain this. It's a feeling of being like this. And then once I drink it, it's like everything gets digested, and everything gets basically you go to the bathroom more, you pee more. And so you're essentially eliminating more of the toxins, and it becomes anti-inflammatory. So, and then the last tea that I wanted to mention, which is a more common tea that you can find in different places, it's our green tea. And so I usually like, again, it's just the actual loose leaves. I find them more pure, and I find that the actual quality it just tastes better. It's just less processed, and for me, I have to be very careful with teas that have caffeine, just because some of them I'm not able to digest them well. But this green tea that I found in Chinatown, it's very legit, and it's actually giving me great results. And so the things about, for instance, the green teas, is that they usually help when you feel gassy, when you feel cramping on your stomach, or when there is some kind of discomfort in your stomach. So the green tea, I usually drink it more in the morning, just because it has more of a sweeter taste, and I like to start my morning with that. Also gives me a little bit of energy, but sometimes I wake up from a heavy dinner, kind of like heavy, and so the green tea makes me feel a little bit lighter. So these are the 3 herbs that I wanted to share with you guys today. For me, herbs are just a very important part of what we do. I follow either with traditional Chinese medicine or with Ayurveda. And again, I'm not a doctor. This is just everything that I tell you is it's inspired by my different mentors that I follow, as well as my own experience and my education in the Academy of Healing Nutrition here in New York, in which we learned some herbalism and we learned some herbal medicine. The problem with herbs is like you have to be very consistent. So it's not like, oh, I'm going to drink it today and then forget. No, it's more about try to drink it continuously. So I will just stick to maybe one tea if you want, and just do it for hopefully about a month or until it lasts, and then just get the other one and just try them and see really how you feel, because at the end of the day, some herbs work with some people, some herbs don't work with other people. So it's really a matter of trying them and finding what works better for you. but I can attest to the positive benefits that they have. And again, it's just not only psychologically, but also I can feel it in my body as well. So I hope that was helpful. I'm so happy I was able to make it for this Wednesday wellness video. I was worried that with everything going on, I wasn't able to make it. As always, ladies, I'm here to help. If you find there's a friend out there, or there's another woman that is passionate about their lives and they just want to feel better, and they just want to eat the right things, and they just want to know what it takes to get to their highest or to the healthiest self, just please feel free to share the group with them. Also comment below if you have any questions. Check your inbox and your Facebook Messenger, because I'm probably, if you're new to the group, I probably reached out to you guys already. Just wanted to connect and make sure that the topics that I'm following or the topics that I'm talking about in the group are relevant to you guys. So with that, I'm going to say good night and happy Wednesday. We're almost there, almost the weekend. See you next time. Bye bye.